Hello. Apa khabar semua FPL managers? FPL Jedi Show kembali ke udara. We are live again, episode 17, where a lot of more news coming in terms of matches for game week 17. My name is Hafiz, and with me, Azmin. How are you? Okay, I think Azmin having issues on connecting with our show tonight, but it's okay. Welcome to all the viewers watching our Jedi show for tonight. What will happen is malam ni kita akan seperti biasa, we'll run through what matches happens in game week 16 yang baru berlalu, okay, but at the same time it's a combo night where our game week 17 punya deadline will be tonight at 2:15 a.m. okay, so that's the thing that we are going to run through for tonight. Okay, sementara menunggu Azmin coming in, we will run through, okay, agenda for tonight. Okay, what will happen is the game week 16 punya review. Kita akan review my team and also Azmin punya team, apakah yang berlaku, okay, whether is it a good week for both of us, okay. Dan kita akan run through game week 16 punya match analysis, right, okay. Kita akan tengok apakah match yang telah berlangsung dan juga some our takes for this week. We then item 3 kita akan run through our COVID outbreak. This is the latest news ya. Macam you all semua tahu, COVID outbreak sudah berlaku. Last week kita dah ada Spurs and also Brighton punya match postpone. Now it happens at Manchester United punya camp. Okay. Then kita akan tengok item 4 season ticker. Just review balik. We just run through what will be for the next few matches in December. And then we run through game week 17 fixture and team news. Okay, Azmin will walk through, and also our captain pick and transfer plan. Welcome back, Azmin. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Sorry, my internet disconnected actually. So yeah, that's fine. Hopefully it doesn't disconnect again. So hello everyone.
Okay, good to hear from Azmin. If not, I'll be taking this on my own. So very timely. Run through what is our agenda for tonight, Amin. And at the same time, tonight will be a combo night where we will review our matches last week on game week 16, and then kita akan jump straight on team news for game week 17 fixture, which our deadline will be at 2:15 a.m. So no time to waste. Let's jump straight to our team review. We start with you first, Azmin, your team.
Right. So I got a 66, which I thought was actually a good score, but it turned out it actually dropped slightly in rank. Maybe a couple points caused me to drop 8,000 spots. So I'm not too upset. You know, I'm just mildly annoyed, I guess. So Ramsdale, of course, hero. He was the one that appeared in the team of the week, I think. So which is great, 11 points. So good start. Rudiger chimed in with 2 assists, which was always happy to see that happen. Especially over James, who scored a 0. Channel, of course, 7.
0.
Yeah. So the back line delivered. Basically, if you look, pretty much almost all my points are from a back line, except for Salah, and a bit chimed in from Mount, which is okay. So long story short, most of my points are from Saturday. All my good points are from Saturday. And Sunday, where I was relying on Bowen and Wilson, and both of them blanked. And in fact, the Burnley West Ham game was so bad. It was so boring. It was so frustrating to see. With Wilson, I was just happy to get anything. I wasn't expecting much, but I didn't expect Newcastle to get whacked. so badly by Leicester. Yeah, but Wilson, I think that's it for me with him. I think we should be parting soon, hopefully. Foden, also frustrating was Foden. Again, he was on the bench. He came in, but hopefully, holding him now will pay off in the near future. Hopefully this week, but we'll see.
Yep, yep. Actually, when Foden come in for the second half, right, he looks threatening, and ada dua chance tak silap, so supposedly Foden should have maybe scored
Yeah.
one goal or two, but in the end it's not. It's 1 point, but I believe he's a good option moving forward, which Man City ada very favorable fixture.
Yep.
Okay, nothing to read. 66 point pada aku still okay tau, not so bad. Bukannya pada aku 70 points tu kira macam okay, it's to me can be good. 66 is not bad. 50 and below, I can say it's bad lah.
It's okay. Yeah, I guess missing out on players like Gallagher, for example, or Madison. I think those two players were the key differences in let's say my team and other teams.
Yeah. So let's look my team, which is quite bad. So I managed to get 62 points, but I took a minus 4 points. So in the end, it's actually 58 points. Okay. So 58 points, which I made 3 transfer. I bring in King, and then Mount, and also Dalo, and replacing the likes of I forgot who. Okay, but in the end, when I made these changes, is we want to move forward the game week. Aku mula-mula target nak bring in Ronaldo, but in the end, if I bring in Ronaldo, I need to take a few hits, like maybe 8 points hit I need to take and restructure my team back, but I feel it's a bit wrong. So in the end, I decided to bring in Mount and King. Okay, they have some favorable matches. Okay, Mount did deliver 6 point. Okay, it could have been more kalau tak kena I think yellow card, and then should be patutnya dapat bonus point, but in the end tak dapat, so only 6 points. Who else? Gundo mengecewakan. I think disappointing because he sub out 55 minutes, and then Man City dapat penalty. Supposedly he should take, he is not there, and Sterling took the penalty, and Sterling got 10 or 11 points.
Yeah.
So a bit frustrating. Silva again involved in
goal, yeah.
and then assist, and he got 6 points, so mengecewakan. And then maybe I need to do something about him tonight. I think the saver for this week is actually Gallagher. I think he got 2 goals. Okay, if he's not, kalau dia tak these 15 points, I will have really bad week.
Yeah. I think Gallagher really got saved you there.
Really saved my week. Not really saved lah, but yeah, at least give me a decent week lah. So not 15 points, kalau tolak tinggal berapa? It's like 40 plus. I really down in rank. From now it's actually 190,000, still manageable, but it could have been worse than that lah. Guita sekali lagi mengecewakan Min. I expect a clean sheet. In the end, Rondon dapat score a goal. So Crystal Palace menang 3-1. I on and off watch that match, but I woke up tengok Rondon scored the goal, so it's frustrating. Whoever bring in De Gea this week got 10 points. Ramsdale 11 points. So that is the difference of a good goalkeeper, which is Ramsdale and De Gea. But we can mention De Gea again when we talk about Man City, Man United punya match. Okay. So Dalo dapat 5 points in the bench. I thought Jota did not play, but when he's in the bench and Liverpool still 0-0 lawan Villa, Jota will definitely win. But to be frank, Jota has some decent chances, but he did not score goal. So that is what happened. So it's okay. Let's move on. I don't want to talk about Game Week 16 anymore. This is where we need to improve. I think I have some good base for game week 17, but let's go to just run through the best 11 for game week 16. Okay. Ramsdale, your man is there, yeah, at the goal. Arsenal defend Gabriel and Tierney got double digit points. Okay, surprise, surprise, but Arsenal did win 3-0 lawan Southampton. Tompkins pop up goal, 10 points lawan Everton. No wonder he got 10 points. And then Masuaku 9 points. I think clean sheet and also bonus point. We'll see kita tengok ada 3 Leicester player Tielemans, Madison and Daka. Leicester run riot against Newcastle. Is Madison something that we been overlooked,
Yeah, I think pretty much because Leicester we weren't really sure, and there was also the issue of the COVID pandemic hitting a few of their players. So although these people were not involved, but you'd have people, other first team people like Lukman who Perez. I mean the worry was that it would also impact the team as a whole. Yeah, so obviously that hasn't happened because either it's whether or not because Leicester were much better or Newcastle were rubbish. But the good thing about this match for Leicester is that this is one where where Vardy didn't play because he had played in midweek because of the Europa, and looks like they've got an able replacement in Daka. So Daka's getting a goal scoring touch in the Premier League. Of course, whether he can perform against better teams is something to think about. I mean, need to be considered, but he's looking good so far.
Yeah, good. Owners of Wadi definitely frustrated because Wadi did not start or even did not play at all, right? I'm not sure. Okay, so that's frustrating. I feel maybe Leicester punya fixture has gone and maybe he needs to go. Jorginho dapat 2 penalty. Okay, got 15 points, but to be fair, we will never think of Jorginho to put in our team. Okay, so never mind. He actually get this penalty lah. So that's why he has this point. If not, he will definitely not in our radar. Gallagher, like pretty much 15 points like we mentioned, but Sterling 11 points. Yeah, he scored the penalty. I guess he got all the 3 bonus point and clean sheet. So that is Man City. We'll talk more in our analysis, man. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Let's go. Key takeaways from game week. Only 9 matches kita play because Brighton and Spurs postponed. 7 home wins and 1 away wins. Okay. And we got 7 clean sheets. So a decent number of clean sheets there. But only 22 goals scored. We start off with Brentford lawan Watford. Brentford, Tony did not play because of COVID, but Mbomo did deliver in the end. Dapat 9 points, a score goal and also 2 bonus point. But Watford, another thing is we recommend King, but Dennis deliver, So that's what happened.
Oh, sorry, I was on mute. So in the ongoing King versus Dennis debate, King winning the stats race while Dennis was winning the eye test race. The annoying thing about this Watford game is that you realize that where King was previously supposed to be the person in the box and Dennis was the outlier coming in this game, for some reason, Ranieri switched it up where Dennis was the one in the box and King was the one running in. So it was frustrating, and it just went against all the analysis of stats, But
actually,
I don't think
from King lah. King sepak kena tiang, I think save penalty, bukan corner, and then Dennis scored from there.
Yeah, that's right. So it's. I mean, I'm not sure it's a permanent thing. I doubt it is. But it shouldn't put you off going for either player. I think at the moment, even though Dennis did score, I still don't think that there's much difference between Dennis and King at this point in time. And we still have to take into account that Dennis may eventually go off. So short term it might be good, long term it might not be.
Yep. So I think if let's say you have Dennis, I believe you can still continue. But if let's
Yes.
say you still have King, you need to be patient because what first they have decent fixture, which is this week against Burnley, Crystal Palace, and the Wolf. So still good, right, Rani? How about Mbomo, man? He took the penalty because Tony is not in. So
Yeah.
is he something that we can still rely on?
No, I mean it's interesting to see that he's taking the penalty, but even in terms of shots, he wasn't really shooting much either. No, I think it was barely anything. So I wouldn't consider Brentford at all at this point. I mean, even though they would still win against Watford, but it's Watford who are having their own issues, and Bradford's fixtures aren't good either. So yeah, I would avoid.
Okay, fair. Let's go to Man City lawan Wolves. Man City did win that match, but just by one goal. Okay, but they keep clean sheet. From this match, Silva did continue to perform. Okay, I feel whoever jump into Silva, then I think you are on a good pick. Continue play Silva for the next few matches. Okay, but something that we pick up is actually Cancelo did pick up his fifth yellow card and he will not be available for this week. So that's another thing that we need to remember. We need to find some other player or bench to play this week. On in terms of Wolves, Jimenez kena red card, man. Quick succession of yellow cards is a bit silly during that time. Any comment?
Having a bit of issues, a bit of a delay on my side. Okay, so I saw that red card, and I just like, how silly can he be? Okay, fine, the yellow, you can be upset about that yellow card. Then I mean, and then he may have a point. It may not have been a deserved yellow, but to
Okay.
to do what you did, which was to block the free kick, refusal to reverse, and when the ball was played, he stuck out his leg to block it. That's just asking for trouble. And then sure, he can whine about it and look so like innocent, pretending. But then at the end of the day, those are the rules of the game. You block it, you're a free kick, you intentionally do that, the referee has every right to brandish you a yellow card and you get sent off. And once you get a yellow card, and this should be ingrained in every professional player, that once you get that first yellow, you have to be more careful, and this wasn't even a last ditch tackle, trying to be, or putting your hand up to prevent a goal coming in. This was just a free kick. It wasn't even near the goal. It was so far away. It was like almost at the middle. I mean, it's a shame for Wolves, but that's what happens. Hopefully, he's learned his lesson. But at the same time, it was interesting that Manchester City were unable to break down Wolves either with 10 men. Yeah, so they had to rely on that penalty. It
It's
was a
a
penalty.
bit dubious also the penalty.
Yeah, and even that penalty was contentious. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, honestly, because it his armpit, the Wolves player's armpit.
Motiho hampit, yeah.
So I'm not sure what the interpretation was. Was it because his hand moved slightly? But then, so that part of his upper hand hit the. Yeah, but because it just looked wrong to me, and Manchester City just got away with it and got lucky. On my side, it was just frustrating because Foden again didn't start. But when as you mentioned earlier, when Foden played, he did come in, and I think for your frustration, Gundo started but went off like in the 50 plus minute after almost scoring, and then after he scored, after he left, then Manchester City proceeding to win a penalty that Gundogan would probably have taken if he was still on the pitch. So I understand you your feeling. So no worries, don't worry about it. The other thing I want to take out of this Manchester City game though is on the Wolves side, because it seems that their defense is quite strong. We saw it last game week against Liverpool, where we needed a last minute goal by Origi, of all, as usual, to finally break the deadlock. In Manchester City Wolves, they needed a contentious penalty to win,
Yeah.
to get that one, and that was the only 1-0 as well. So Wolves, I think, even though the matchup still not that great, but I think they can definitely be considered. yeah, because they are capable of stopping these big sides.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe for Wolves, asset that we should consider is on the defensive side lah, not the
Yep.
attacking side. All right. So let's go to next match, which is Arsenal versus Southampton. Arsenal did so-called trash Southampton 3-0. Okay. No Smith Rowe, okay, playing, but the new kids, Odegaard, I think he's already have 3 returns back to back. Okay. Saka did assist, Tierney assist again. All right. And Lacazette found a goal. Now Aubameyang has been like you all know, it's not he's been on disciplinary action, and just now he's been announced to be stripped by his captaincy. So Aubameyang is no longer a subject for us to pick, and maybe Lacazette is the one moving forward, mate.
Yep. So I mean, it was always up to Lacazette to take this opportunity, and he certainly seems to have done it. Although to be fair, Southampton are missing their keeper, and then they have quite a few
Yeah,
people missing. But it was interesting to see Arsenal return to form after getting trashed in the previous week. So Tierney seems to have regained his spot, and you know, and did well for the second match in a second match.
yeah.
Can't
Last
remember
week he
this.
also assist.
Yeah. So definitely someone to look at. ESR Smith Rowe started on the bench, so it's a bit tough for that one, especially with Odegaard, who's currently playing in that number 10 role, scoring once again. So it'll be it's a challenge, and especially for those who ESR. But ESR might still come back in, especially in this during this period, because it's busy. But we dare not who has locked down that number 10 role. I'm not so
There
sure
is a
anymore.
more competition now lah, with
Yeah,
Odegaard in on form.
yeah.
So if let's say manager have Smith Rowe, is it a concern or is it still a keep?
I mean, if you don't have any problems, and let's face it, this is not this current climate is quite tough. But I'm not sure. I would probably still hold,
Okay,
um,
fair.
but unless there's better options.
Okay,
Mm.
fair. All right, let's go match Liverpool Villa. Gerrard has got his emotional return to Liverpool, but in the end, Villa actually keep a fight with Liverpool. Liverpool only managed 1 goal, which is by Salah. Okay, no surprise. He actually earned the penalty and also scored the goal. Okay,
Yeah.
but maybe it should have been a bigger scoreline. I mean, 1-0 for
No, I
Liverpool.
don't think so because Aston Villa did really well, but of course it was frustrating, because Jota came on again. He had opportunities, but I again credit to Villa, and definitely Villa is going to be a source of FPL picks from now on. After they seem to they've won all the easier matches, and they managed to hold their own against Liverpool and Manchester City. Although in the end they still lost. But yeah, Villa is looking up for Villa.
All right. I think if you see there, TAA got another 3 bonus point, man. No wonder you like him as a captain pick. Salah, no bonus point. All right. Chelsea versus Leeds. I actually saw this match. Tapi kadang-kadang change to Liverpool lawan Villa also. Okay. But to be fair, Chelsea defense has been not as good as before. Although Ramai picked Alonso to play this game, in the end, Rafinha got the first goal from penalty. Alonso conceded the penalty. Okay. But then after that, Rudiger assist twice. Alonso assist also. Actually, a comeback from Chelsea. But to be fair, it could be a 2-2. We got lucky. Chelsea got lucky to win this game. That's what I can say, man.
Okay, yeah, but amazing for Jorginho to just easily calmly take 2 penalties in one match, and still score. But it is frustrating for people who are looking for FPL picks, because Jorginho just isn't a player that you pick normally, and unfortunately in the Chelsea team, he's the one who takes penalties. Obviously, I was hoping like Mount would take one, but of course, but that wasn't a problem. But I guess when the match is hanging in the balance, then they'll default to their main penalty
Yeah,
taker. If they're already
definitely.
leading 3-0, yeah, maybe other people
Uh,
can.
even the third goal actually, the second penalty that Jorginho take, Lukaku is on the pitch. He is not even considered to take that. Jorginho step up and score. So I think Jorginho is the first penalty taker, and then maybe Lukaku if he's around. I think so. I don't know. That's what I feel. Okay, man. A question about James. Keep or sell? He's been frustrating. I said,
Okay,
what do you?
so I wasn't sure if you meant Dan James or Reese James here. So I'm gonna assume, Michael, that you mean Reese James. So it is a dilemma and something I'm looking at as well, wondering what's going on there. Um, you can tell by the play that part of the problem appears to be Alonso. Yeah, because with Alonso no covering nowhere as much ground as Chilwell did. So Reece James is the one who's, whenever if Alonso's bombarding forward, um, Reece James finds himself more on the defensive a lot more. Whereas if it was Chilwell on the other side, they can take turns and don't have to worry about each other. So this has impacted, and of course it doesn't hurt that he also got carded in the process. Uh,
Hmm.
and but at the same time, it's also the problem because of their midfield. So they're missing Kante, they're
Yeah.
missing Kovacic. So either Kante or Kovacic, even either one of them with Jorginho would make a much better solid defensive midfield shield for the back line. So hopefully, but the good news is that we've heard that Kante is back in training, is coming
Okay.
back. So they might, and Kovacic, who was suffering for COVID, may also be back as well. So for me, I would say hold. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, definitely hold. And this week they are against Everton. Now I
Yeah.
know it's easy to say that last week they were against Leeds, and then still this is what happened. But there's no, I don't think there's a strong enough reason for you not to feel to sell him at this
Yeah.
stage. Yeah, with the
Yeah.
fixtures still looking good.
I agree. It's a keep for me. You never know. Chelsea like Everton, he bang a goal, assist, and then suddenly he got 21 points. Then I think it's a keep.
Keep
All right, because James capable of that explosive. That's why. All right.
correct.
Next we go Norwich versus Manchester United. Okay, this is the hype one. People bringing in Ronaldo in. Ronaldo did deliver. He actually scored the penalty, got the 3 bonus points. So I think managers should be happy. Other than that, I'm not sure about other Manchester United asset. Um, De Gea is another one that people can get big points. He got actually 10 points. So
Ah,
that is the takeaway lah.
yep. So those who still investing big in the bag also want to invest in a more expensive keeper, then the is definitely an option. Having said that, we will talk about that later with Manchester United being a match being suspended. So that does
Yeah,
make it very, very annoying for those who had just brought in the Gea.
yeah,
Norwich, yeah. Norwich, to be honest, they did not disappoint because Norwich apparently have been really good at home. They really given it to the those who visit lately. And I kind of thought this would happen, which is why I didn't feel need to rush for Manchester United assets. And it's good. Of course, we're not going to have a lot of Norwich players for our first team, but people might have Williams or um, Gilmore on the bench. But maybe someone like Pookie might be considered in the near future. But I would expect Norwich is, if you look at the stats, Norwich is no longer the team that's being bullied compared to before Dean Smith took over. So you could say that if you look at the fixture ticker, your favorable matchups, Norwich isn't necessarily a good matchup anymore in terms of getting a lot of goals. So you may want to reconsider that.
Yep. So I think later we comment on Manchester United. Okay. So next game is Leicester versus Newcastle. I think we already comment where Madison Tillemans performed, but he did not play. In terms of Newcastle asset, like Wilson, you have him. Nothing from him. Newcastle look, I don't know, should I say doom, but they they've been trashed by Leicester, who actually substitutable, and this is the first clean sheet in ever. I don't know,
Yeah.
from Leicester. So
Yeah, so you because Newcastle have been doing decently, and then Leicester hadn't been keeping clean sheets, and then suddenly Leicester they managed to get a clean sheet. So and the thing with Newcastle, this is the match that the probably the last match that people were hoping, like myself, because I kept Wilson for this, thinking that they
yep,
have a chance
yep,
of scoring against
yep.
Leicester, because after this it gets really dicey. They play Liverpool, Manchester City, Manchester United in the next three. It's ridiculous, of course, and it's not going
Okay,
to look good for
time
Eddie
to
Howe.
jump ship. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, just before this run of Liverpool, Manchester City, Manchester United, they get trashed by Leicester. Everyone's going to be rushing for these teams, to join in the fun. And
Yeah.
Eddie Howe's got a bad job on his end. So don't go for Newcastle assets. If you have Wilson,
Okay.
if
Yeah.
this might be the time to sell it. This is
Yeah.
the time to sell if you have to.
Yes. Okay. Burnley lawan West Ham. I think West Ham asset, like people bring in Bowen. Antonio again frustrating. So not sure what to tell. I think need to be patient. West Ham still have a good run after Arsenal game, which is Norwich, Southampton. That is the one that need to be target lah.
Yeah. So a lot of people, I think that not as many people bought in Bowen as I thought there was, because in terms of ownership, overall ownership, not the top 10K, it's still
Yeah.
only 7.3%. So it's still a
Mm-hmm.
differential per se. I think most who decided not to go for Bowen were very relieved that he didn't hold. But unfortunately, on the other side of the spectrum is Antonio, where people still have him, and he
Yeah.
blanked
Timing.
yet again. I mean, the assist last game week aside, he has not scored for ages. I've lost
Yeah.
count of
Yeah.
how long.
Yeah.
So it's very frustrating. But there's some good remarks from Moya saying that he should continue to start until he finds his form, rather than giving him a break. So it does make it good in terms of you can be relieved about. Don't worry about his starting status. Whether or not he'll score is a different story entirely.
Okay. Next, Crystal Palace versus Everton. Like we mentioned, Gallagher is the hero, savior from this game. To be fair, I had Gallagher when I wildcard in game week 12. He only produced one assist. Then the next three matches, nothing. I already consider for him to go out for Bowen soon. But now, after he hitting 15 points, and then if let's say he hitting another big points against Southampton, he will look undroppable. I don't know. That's what I think.
Yeah, so the problem here with Gallagher previously is that was his positioning, where he was playing. So for this game, Will Hughes started in midfield, and he was of the more defensive mindset, so it allowed Gallagher to really push forward, and we didn't I mean, I think most of us didn't expect that this change would happen, and because I've noticed that looking around, there's quite a few teams that have Gallagher, but he's on the bench. So, because of the recent trend of him being more defensive and playing
Right,
quite,
right.
yeah. So it caught off guard those who still played him, one out, whereas those who left it on the bench were going to be really frustrated. Plus, have to remember the fact that Everton won
Yep,
last game week. So that made people think that there's some improvement in Everton, so maybe
yep.
Gallagher won't get anything. So that's those are the decisions that really can really hurt. And I blame Gallagher and Madison for causing my rank drop. I think without performing, I would probably have
Yep,
done well, even if Bowen and
yep.
um,
Mount.
Wilson didn't perform. So
Okay, right. Okay. Fair, fair. Right, mate. Let's go to the next topic, which is we need to mention COVID outbreak and Manchester United camp. If let's say people are not hearing, Manchester recently shut down their first team training operations, and from there on, the match Brentford versus Manchester already in jeopardy. He has been confirmed, I think, early this morning or yesterday, that Brentford Manchester game has been postponed. Okay, and then it will not be played this week, mate.
Yeah.
So frustrating for managers who has brought in Ronaldo, the likes of Ronaldo, maybe Rashford, or
Yeah.
even Dalot like me last week. So this news really, really damaging.
I think it's also frustrating that those who had Mbuemo last week and he scored, it's like, oh, finally he's going to go on a run, and then suddenly, this happens. So, so it's very frustrating, and I do feel bad for those who have players from these teams because
Also need to share with you, some people actually hold Tony and in expectation to play this game.
yeah, and the news before they decided to cancel match was that he was available for this game. So there you go. Just how how unlucky can some of
Yeah,
us be.
unlucky to be fair. A lot of managers bring in Ronaldo, take -4, -8 hits. Now they need to do something right. If they say you bring in Ronaldo last week.
Yeah. So you mentioned there's a footnote there saying Brighton, Spurs, Leicester, MU, Villa, Norwich have all confirmed cases. So it's frustrating, and they didn't. There's some cases they don't mention as to who is the
Hmm.
person that, for example, for the first one, Brighton, they
Yeah.
didn't really say who's, there's some illness. I think Potter said there's a bit of illness, but declined to mention. Spurs, it's Spurs was a carryover from the previous game week. So you had
Yep.
people like San, Mora, all contracting COVID. So there was a
So at
new.
this point, man, I think this is the only match that has been postponed. Is there any other news that you feel will also affect from this outbreak?
At the moment, no. The thing with Spurs, on the Spurs side, they was looking more positive because apparently Conte was leading his team in a double training session. Yesterday was, or yeah, the day before. So it's looking that it's gonna play. Although again, there was another positive case, but no one. There's no real info as to who the new person is. Okay, moving on. Leicester was the ones previously we mentioned. Pretty much as Perez, Amate, Lukman as the main first team players. So they're still okay, and we know they managed to win regardless of their absences 4-0. Manchester United, we know, is already postponed. And the thing with the problem with Manchester United is we don't really have any idea
Yep.
who has it. Yeah,
Yep.
there was a picture of Ronaldo on a cycling machine, and yeah, and there's someone commenting this doesn't look like someone who has COVID, but yeah, we don't. I mean, again, with COVID, there are mild cases and there are serious cases. So we don't know. Manchester United haven't mentioned. For Aston Villa, Steven Gerrard, the manager, mentioned there was a couple of cases, but again, he declined. He used the excuse of medical confidentiality, which is fair, but at the end of the day, it's a public thing. But he didn't. He also declined. But other than that, the match should go on ahead.
Yep.
Norwich has one player, and it's not someone
Yep.
we for fantasy anyway. I can't even remember his name.
Yeah,
Some we
it's not someone that we're gonna pick anyway. I
Yeah.
mean, only for bench for the.
Yeah. So other teams, we know that Kovacic from Chelsea was recovering
Yeah.
from COVID, but
Yes.
no other player seems to be
Yeah.
impacted, so it's fine. There's plenty of news here and there, for example, like Liverpool, where there's some staff impact contracting, but nothing seems to have affected the coaches or the first team. But okay, deadline is about 2 hours away. So yeah, I mean, if you guys in Malaysia can stay out, you might as well stay out because you never know what might happen. These are
Yep.
very troubled times.
Uh,
So
we are very hopeful that at least these two matches today, which is Norwich versus Villa and also City versus Leeds, go on. I think
yeah,
at least if you want to make any move, I think these are two match that can be confirmed play lah. All right. So
Yeah.
Brian mentioned he brought in three Manchester player. I did saw his team. He brings Telles, Ronaldo, and Rashford. So I don't know what he will do this week. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I understand. I sympathize you.
Yeah,
Really.
I feel for you, bro. So it's really frustrating, especially when they performed last game week and suddenly they're disappearing again this game week.
So
Yeah,
I mean,
just to address today there was this rumor going around about Manchester City
yeah,
fixture being postponed because of COVID. I'm pretty sure there's nothing been announced right now, and it's only about 3 hours before the match. So
yeah,
I I really I'm pretty sure that it can't be postponed anymore.
yes,
I mean,
yes.
even the audiences have already come in and or from to Manchester, and they're getting ready to go to the stadium. If maybe some have
Yeah,
already made the trek to get in early, but so it's gonna happen. So I wouldn't worry about it.
yeah. Man, so I think oh, I forgot another one name. De Gea. A lot of people also bring in De Gea. If they say De Gea do not play and he doesn't have second keeper, definitely you need to do something. So what is our advice, man? We pick say Ronaldo. Do you keep him? There is potential Manchester will play this weekend also.
Yeah, there's a dilemma about there's a question about all the COVID protocols as to shouldn't they also be not playing this weekend as well. But I think that if that was a part of the protocol, so assuming there have been no new uh, infections, new players getting contracting COVID, then if that was the protocol, then it should already have been announced by now that the weekend match is suspended. Yeah, the fact that there's nothing been announced for the weekend match makes me pretty sure that unless new cases come up, that game will go on.
Okay, okay, fair. So what should managers do, man? If I have Ronaldo, what should I do now?
It's a tough one. I would, if there are no fires elsewhere, I don't mind. I wouldn't mind keeping. I don't have him, but I wouldn't
Okay,
mind keeping him. Yeah,
okay. But
but
if
but
you
if
do not have, if you cannot field 11 players, surely you
yeah.
need to change him.
Yeah. So when you because assuming that you also have you may have other Manchester United players you want to get rid,
Okay.
but the thing with Ronaldo, you probably want to transfer him out with a view to getting him back in if necessary.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm,
So if you're gonna because you definitely will downgrade to a cheaper if you want someone who plays because there's hardly anyone up there who's any worth. I think
mm,
Kane, no. Lukaku, no.
No.
Yeah, yeah. Although Kane is an interesting prospect, but regardless, so if you were to ask me who,
Yep.
I would probably say Lacazette has a good. I think Lacazette hasn't really been discussed, but the thing is, as Arsenal after what's happened with Aubameyang,
Okay.
it helps solidify Lacazette's starting status. And to be
Okay.
fair, while they do play against West Ham, who are one of the form teams, but again they are missing their first choice centre backs, which is Ogona as well as Kurt Zuma. So I
Mm,
think that Lacazette will be able to find his way around Dawson, yeah, and and the rest of the back line.
yep. So
That would be my recommendation.
if for me, I like Watkins. Okay, Villa match against Norwich is up next, which is good. And then I think it's Burnley and then Chelsea, and then two decent match against Leeds and Brentford, if I'm not mistaken. So I feel he's also can be an option if Ronaldo and certain, and he's a good option at 7+ million. If you don't like Antonio, which is off form.
Yeah.
Yep. So I think that's all what we want to say. If let's say I have the here, I mean, what should I do? I
Hold,
have no keeper.
hold.
Hold.
Yeah. For with a keeper, I think you should hold. For
If there is
striker
no keeper,
Ronaldo, if it's striker like Ronaldo, then fine. Get someone who can score.
if
But
if,
for him,
if no second keeper, how?
I think you should just bite the zero and wait
Okay.
till the next game week. Yeah,
All
because
right.
I just feel like just getting another keeper because at the end of the day, Manchester United does have a good run of matches.
Yes.
and you want to transfer him back in again,
Yep.
I think it's too troublesome.
All right. Okay, man. Okay, just a quick revisit on season ticker.
Yep.
Okay, this is up to week 21, which is up to 2nd January, which is the Christmas period. Manchester United, West Ham, Villa, like we mentioned, Norwich, Burnley, then Leeds and Brentford. Okay, Crystal Palace and Man City has really decent fixture. I think this is the asset to be target, like we mentioned. Manchester is still there, City is still there, but West Ham, especially after Arsenal, they have Norwich and Southampton back-to-back home matches. Really enticing, man.
Yep. So yeah, I'd like, but again, if I remember what I alluded to earlier, I feel that Norwich is no longer the punching bag that people think.
Okay.
So West Ham has Norwich in there, Aston Villa has Norwich in there, even Crystal Palace has Norwich in there. But Watford, yeah. So you got Watford, you got West Ham against Watford, Aston Villa play Watford. Aston Villa don't play Watford. Crystal Palace do play Watford next week.
Yep.
So Watford should really be moving to the top as the team that people score goals against, as well as Newcastle. So Newcastle are looking really dire. So again, you see
Yeah.
Manchester City will play Newcastle. So these are the in game week 18. So these are the teams that we should target at this
Okay.
stage.
Yeah. I really like it. I think City is it essential? At least one asset in midfield. I feel United, you're not sure yet when they will play, but after that we can consider. West Ham, I think Bowen must come in against Norwich and Southampton at home. Really, really looks good. But the thing is, Gallagher is coming up with good mate. Yalah, Lau Southampton and Watford. Then Spurs and then Norwich at home. So
Yeah.
it's plenty of choice for media to make. Hmm.
Yeah, Southampton, Crystal Palace. The first two matches look really, really enticing. Both Southampton and Watford, teams that have problems and are letting in goals. So
Hmm.
yeah, tasty.
Okay. Let's go to Gary 17 fixture, man. I hope you're ready with some team news. I haven't, but we
Awesome.
already know Brentford versus Manchester United has been postponed. Okay,
Yep.
then Norwich and Villa and Man City versus Leeds will be at tonight. Okay, so what is the latest news if you have for both? I think someone did ask about Man City asset. I
Yep.
think Pep cleared everyone except Ferran Torres.
All right. So okay. Firstly, um, for Norwich Aston Villa, there was a status. Yeah, I feel it's going to go on, so no issues there. Even though there were a couple of players for that Gerrard said may have contracted COVID, but yeah, I think the game should go on. No issues there. But yeah, again, I don't think, as I mentioned earlier, I don't think it's such a punching bag. And I know that previously I was going to go for Watkins, but I've gone off that. I feel like I can still wait on Watkins, and I think he's being a popular pick at the moment because of the Ronaldo issue. But yeah, I'm not so convinced anymore for Watkins. For Manchester City Leeds, as you mentioned, that yeah, Pep has mentioned that a clean bill of health for Manchester City. Having said that, I feel that those issues that Gundo was having is enough for him to be benched for this particular game week. I mean, why risk it if you have a full bill of health? You have got KDB who can come in. So I feel those who have Gundogan are at risk. I'm not sure about the rest. That's really anyone's guess. Although I would like to think that Foden starts, but I can't really say that with absolute certainty. Uh, Leeds again having problems with their key players still out. Bamford is still out anyway. Phillips is still out. So it's going to be tough for Leeds to win this. So it should easily be a Manchester City win, 3-0. But Rafinha can do magic. One thing to remember is that Manchester City's Cancelo is out, and he's such a key player for them right now. So Rafinha could still get something.
Okay. All right. Good, man. I think I will target Man City asset to win this week, whichever it is, whether Bernardo Silva or Foden.
Yep.
Uh, so next on Thursday or tomorrow night, okay, Brighton versus Wolves, Burnley versus Watford, which a lot of people have Watford asset also, like Kings and Dennis.
Yep.
Then Crystal Palace versus Southampton, really good match for Crystal Palace, whoever
Yep.
having Gallagher. And also Arsenal versus West Ham, whether West Ham can deliver against Arsenal. So any team news, I mean, for these teams? Yeah.
Okay, so Brighton, we know that for Dunk and Webster, so they out, so that there goes your first choice backline. Duffy is suspended as well, so it may be a good idea. But then Wolves happen to have lost Raul Jimenez along the way, so we've got Huang who will probably start, but then Huang's statistics have been really bad, so it's really up to Huang, and it will be going against the grain if Huang ends up scoring for this one, because even though Brighton's are depleted, but Wolves' attack has been looking really bad, and now they've lost Raul Jimenez, so it is a problem for Brighton. But Trossard has been declared fit, so on the Brighton side, if you're interested in the attack, then Trossard could become an option again. But again, have to remember, all the Wolves' attack looked dire. The Wolves' defense looks so much better, and as we have seen in the past few weeks. So, and Wolves aren't. Yeah, other than Jimenez is the key player that they're missing. Other than that, they are pretty much good to go. Burnley, Watford. So Cornet isn't back yet. Still isn't back yet. So, and we saw Burnley against West Ham. They really struggle. So, but against Watford, anything can happen. And if you have Chris Wood, if you want to take a punt, Chris Wood might be a good idea. On the Watford side, they're fine. All the nothing new on the injury front.
Okay. So let's go to Leicester versus Spurs. I think Spurs are declared they can play, right? Leicester versus Spurs. If that's the case, then whoever has assets like Madison, even Vardy to an extent, maybe you can keep him against Spurs. Then Chelsea versus Everton. A lot of Chelsea player. I'm not sure who's still available. I hope Mount start this game again, back to back and third game for 90 minutes against Everton. Maybe Lukaku can start this game also versus Everton. Maybe any news?
No. Okay, I mentioned earlier that Kovacic is back in training, but I don't think he'll be ready for this game. Kante as well. Chilwell, of course. Chilwell, he started participating in light training, but of course he won't be back for this one.
Yeah.
But it's hard for me to think that Lukaku will start. And Chelsea ran into trouble last game week, and but were lucky enough to get another penalty to win the game against Leeds. But with Lukaku again being ineffective and doesn't seem to fit into the lineup, so I think I suspect he'll be benched for this one and comes in as a sub. I think that Tuchel will keep his core team, and that will include Mason Mount, as mentioned. Even though he has started 90 minutes, I think he's pretty fit. And there's a decent gap between the games anyway. I think he played on Saturday. So, I think he played on Saturday. Now he's going to play on Thursday night. So I think there's plenty of time. So Mason Mount will play. Everton, it was a false dawn for Everton. After winning the previous, and then ended up getting trashed, losing. So nothing new on the Everton side, although Richarlison has become an injury doubt, so I'm not sure he'll be ready as well. So that bodes well for Chelsea's. Hopefully, will they finally get a clean sheet? So as I mentioned with regards to James, it's
good news. Like people have double Chelsea defense, like you mean Rudiger or maybe Alonso combo with James. So if let's say Everton news like that, Richardson are
not going to have to rely on attacking returns for the Chelsea. I'd like some clean sheets for a change.
Yep. Agree. So Liverpool versus Newcastle, man.
Okay, Newcastle are pretty much it. Okay, one thing to note with regards to the Thursday games is that we haven't got any press conference on all this,
Okay.
because the press conference will be after that deadline. So
Okay,
we
okay.
won't really know. So we can only base on what we've seen or what we've
Yep.
heard. Yeah.
Okay.
So just to clarify, just to classify that one.
Okay.
So for Newcastle, as far as I know, it's a clean bill of health. It's just that they're rubbish. So so it's fine.
So,
Liverpool.
are we expecting Salah to start, right? Or Klopp will just try to right ship?
Okay, so there's some question about whether or not this might be the time to give Salah a rest, but I really don't think so. I think that this is a game to really that they can really stamp their authority. If anything, maybe the midfield will change slightly a bit. Maybe Milner may come in. Milner may start instead. Yeah, or Tsimikas might be rested for Robertson.
Okay.
Because Robertson, if you remember, he had those injury issues recently, so maybe it's a good time to give him a break. I am worried that someone like Alexander Arnold might be given a break, but
Hmm.
it's really speculation at this stage. On Firmino, by the way, Firmino has been pictured previously. He was already in training. Looks like he's on progressing, but he won't be ready for this one.
Okay.
But he should hopefully maybe by this weekend.
All right. Okay, fair man. So I don't want to run through the captain pick. Most likely
No,
people will pick Salah. But how about any other choice if they say other managers pulling to back against Salah? Mm.
The thing is, Salah has such a good record against Newcastle. So it's going to take you're really going to be really, really brave to not captain him.
Would you captain TAA?
Funny you should ask. I just might.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
Ah.
We'll see.
But if let's say you want to try, maybe some Man City assets versus Leeds, Leeds are going to like philosophy. Like Bilsa will definitely go and attack. He won't sit back. So maybe this is a high scoring game, 4-1 maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, the problem with
But
Manchester.
that's what we expect against Chelsea and in the end 3-2. So
Yeah, the problem with Manchester City is just trying to figure out who's going to do the goals.
yeah.
Are we gonna? Are people gonna captain Bernardo Silva? I can't see that happening,
Okay. All
because
right.
we know he's consistent, but we want someone who can explode, and we don't think Bernardo Silva is someone who's capable of exploding as much as, say, Foden. But then Foden is a case of, is he going to start? And yeah, I don't see. Okay, so Brian, I just popped this up. Brian mentions he's looking at Sterling. I don't know if he's looking at it as a captaincy or just again, between
Mahal.
Sterling versus Salah. I've after watching Newcastle play against Leicester last game week, I have to go for Salah. And
Okay.
Liverpool at home are just too spicy.
Okay. Good. I just want to answer some question by Zamzuri. Hi Zamzuri, my mate Mendy or Guita. If you have a choice this week, I think both are good option. I mean, just Mendy can keep clean sheet versus Everton, or Guita can keep clean sheet against Southampton.
I would go for Guaita. Mendy hasn't looked great lately, even though Everton are losing Richarlison. But
Okay.
I'm not that keen on Mendy. I do prefer Guaita. I think Crystal Palace against Southampton and some Watford fixtures moving forward, Crystal Palace have a better array of fixtures.
Yep.
I don't know why are you selling your keeper though, unless your keeper was De Gea. If your keeper was De Gea, then maybe you should consider holding. That's just my thought.
Okay. All right. Next, Harish Major, should I bring Watkins or Dennis? I did mention Watkins. I like Watkins as differential. So that's my thoughts.
If you
Next.
had to choose between the two, Harish, I'd bring in Watkins simply because for long-term holdability. I'm because as far as we know at the moment, the AFCON is still going on. So even though Dennis may very well score this week or next week, but just having him score for a couple of weeks and then having to take him out, I feel at this point in time, I don't think it's worth it. I
So
think what.
for Villa, maybe Watkins is the penalty taker, right? The first penalty
Pardon?
taker. Is it right?
Uh, I don't really know. Ings is apparently coming back, so we don't know he'll start. Is I'm not sure about the penalties. I
Yeah.
don't think they've won a penalty yet, have they?
I'm
Not
just not
sure.
sure who's the last one taking the penalty. But Watkins could be lah, if
Yeah.
he's on the pitch. All right, man. I think we can go to our team pick for this week.
Yep. Let's do it.
Yours first.
Okay. All right. So I'm looking at moving ESR on, and there are two options I'm looking at, which is one either Jota or Gallagher. Okay, I think we talked about Gallagher has good fixtures. Jota
Okay.
plays against Newcastle, and
Okay,
which I
fair.
feel is a very juicy matchup. But
Yep.
in order for me to buy Jota, I'm going to also need to get a bit more funds elsewhere, which is a problem. So the
Okay.
what I'm doing, because Wilson, if you notice, Wilson's on the bench. My original plan when I bought Wilson was always to sell him off for game
Yep.
week 17. So
Yep.
one way I'm looking at it is to sell Wilson to maybe a 4.5 and save the funds first, and use the rest of the funds to upgrade Smith Rowe to Jota. So that's one. But it does mean that I'm bringing in two players, one of which will be on the bench, meaning that I really have to have a lot of faith in Jota returning. And to be fair, it is against Newcastle, but we've seen how frustrating Jota can be.
Yes. Yep.
Um,
Understand?
the other alternative is to bring Gallagher in as a direct swap for Smith Rowe, and this works well in the sense that the funds wise,
Yep.
I don't need to take a hit, which means I'll still keep Wilson, which is fine, I guess. As on
Yep.
the bench, not bad. Although I
Yep.
don't think he'll do anything. 2 points is enough. So the worry is just simply with, again, if any of these above players get benched, I'm not going to have much of a bench. But I'll take two from Wilson, and hopefully Livramento is fit as well. So if you notice, I'm I'm taking a punt with Huang against
Okay.
Brighton. Yeah,
Fair.
and hopefully with the Brighton team issues that they have, and Huang also needs to rediscover his goal scoring form from the start of the season. And I do wonder if Raul Jimenez, when he's if with him not around, it might be a good opportunity to Huang to step up. So I have to admit that it's really a punt here, So that's my plan, but I haven't got through yet, and I'm not doing any live transfer this time around because I'm really not sure.
Fair. Fair. All right. I like Gallagher movement. To be frank, I'm not willing to take a hit to bring in Jota.
Oh, you already have Gallagher. That's good. That's good. Your team.
All right. So my team's almost identical. Okay. To mean, I have Guita in goal, TAA, James, and Dalo, but we already know Dalo gonna miss this game. So looks like Livramento is coming in, and hope he just play against Crystal Palace. Look at this point lah. Maybe this game can be a nil-nil, so you never know, right? But if let's say Crystal Palace does win this game, maybe Livramento can just give me 1 point. So I'm still okay. Gundogan is the one that I'm not sure because Pep just did mention on his press that Gundo is having a back injury. He needs to be careful with Gundo. So I feel he won't play as much, especially this game. So I think this is the move that I need to make, whether Silva or Foden. I'll talk about it later. Jota, Mount, Salah as captain, and Gallagher all will be in. Okay, and then Antonio versus Arsenal away, and also King away to Burnley. My bench is very light. Cancelo, uh, Livramento, and Davis. Livramento will replace Dalo. So in the end, if let's say any player miss, let's say Gundo not playing, I don't have anyone to replace him. So I feel is the right move to make a move today.
Yeah.
And although Silva is the man, right, man? Everyone is picking him at 30%, 33% or 31%, like that. Foden at 6%, mean. I have the money. I have no issue with money. So
I like my Foden differential as it stands at the moment. So
so
I'm happy with Foden.
the different price between Silva is 7.7 now and Silva is at 8. It's like 0.3. It's not that much difference now. So I think it's a no-brainer to pick Foden. I really hope this is the right pick because I already had Foden during my wildcard. Then after 2 weeks he's not playing. I bring in Gundo, not Silva. Silva did deliver like double digit and so on.
Yeah.
Now I'm taking out Gundo back to Foden.
I think I'm okay with that. But it's just not going to go overboard with City players because it's really hard to tell. But the good thing is there are plenty of good picks elsewhere. I mean, looking at the rest, you got Jota, Mount, Salah, Gallagher. These are all good picks. So so they can they it's possible they will more than make up for not having your City midfielders during this stage. So have one, no more. But I would agree. Yeah, go for Foden instead of Gundogan at this stage.
Yep. But I think the obvious move is Silva, right?
Yeah.
Because he's the one who's performed. He's plays 90 minutes. But I feel this is the time for me to at least take a punt on differential, which Foden can easily explode versus Leeds and Newcastle after this.
Okay.
And hopefully he plays and don't Pep just take him out before 60 minutes.
The good thing is Pep has been quite predictable, but then the early substitutions are always going to be annoying. We'll see.
So I feel almost like I will play Foden because that could be the pick which can move my rank higher, man. If not, we are not going anywhere because people are picking Silva.
All right. Well, all the best. Yeah, I support the move. I think it's fine. I know. Yeah, there's a problem with your bench being quite light, but otherwise it's fine. Shall we answer? There's a few more questions that we can take. I guess.
Okay. Fair. What has been?
Okay, so I'm using my free hit this week. Watkins, Dennis, and King. Good idea up front. No, I don't think so. I think you should have probably Watkins and King and maybe someone else. But I'm not sure about your team structure. But I'm.
Who else? Yeah.
Well, no, but sorry, I misread it. It's a free hit, so free hit it should be okay. I don't.
But double against Burnley, which they can be very, very stern on their defense. So I'm not too sure on that. You can pick Lacazette, like you mentioned, me.
Yeah, assuming you want to play all three. But again, I don't know what your midfield is, but I think it's although I'm not as hot on Watkins as I was last week because Norwich strength in the defense. Yeah, Dennis and King fine, but yeah, if you have the money, why not stretch for Lacazette? That's what I think anyway.
Yeah.
Another one is I guess Mahrez will start. I think he has a good chance of starting. That means Jesus doesn't. Son will Son play? No, Son I think he's still recovering from COVID, so I don't think he'll make it for this week. Watkins or Dennis?
Watkins for me.
There's also one question because I was asked this in Twitter. I can share my screen to deal with it. If you hang on, Okay, this is regarding the bench.
Okay.
So hang on, let me just. Where is it? Okay. So the question was, could you make a list of your top 3 ideal subs for? The question is by FPL Teacher. Thanks for the question. With COVID plaguing our fixtures, could you make a list of your top 3 ideal subs for defenders, mids, forwards? So basically, we just look at the top 3. So the way I did it was just to go for the really cheap picks and see who has a better chance of starting and possibly returning some points. So I'll start off with the defense. Okay, so for defenders, hang on. So for defenders, I got Alt-Nouri at 4.3. I think it's quite cheap. And if you remember, we were talking about Wolves' defense. being quite strong. So I felt that Alt-Norris
Yep.
are good to have on your bench, especially for the good matchups. Williams 3.9, I alluded to Norwich's improvement in defense. So, he could return points and could possibly get assists, for example. Lamptey, we all know that he's this explosive guy who can, provided he can stay fit. To be fair, Brighton aren't having a good run at the moment, but I think he's good to have on your bench, better than Duffy. Uh,
Hmm.
so I think Lamptey is the one with the explosive potential, and when the time comes, you may consider to have him on your starting lineup. Okay, then in terms of midfielders, Douglas Luiz. So Aston Villa has been performing well of
Okay.
late, and he is
Yep.
taking free kicks. He hasn't got any success in terms of points yet, but I feel that time will come. Brownhill it was for Burnley, and with Cornet out, Brownhill could have a more closer role. Although he did start a couple of weeks, but I think he should be able to come back in. I think he may have just been rested. Gilmore is from Norwich, 4.4, again cheap, and you might want to consider him as well, again, to look at Norwich's improvement in form. Forwards, okay, Gelhardt, 4.5. He's from Leeds, and he scored as the last minute, and I think there might be some good potential with this guy. With Bamford still having a recurring issue, not out, and after Gelhardt scored, he might actually come into the starting lineup this week, although it is against Manchester City, but at least if he's good to start, then this youngster just might do it. Origi at 4.8. So Origi is the thing is, if you remember that Salah and Mane are going off to AFCON, so Origi was going may grab that opportunity. And at the moment, if let's say you're doing a wild card, you just plug Origi into your bench for now, and he'll come in once Salah and Mane go off to AFCON. Finally, Pedro, 5.4. Juan Pedro from Watford.
Okay.
He may be a decent option, especially when Dennis goes off to AFCON. So Pedro may come in and he may do well, especially if Sark continues to be up.
5.4. Okay.
Yeah. So he's the most expensive. But again, as mentioned, I've tried to get as cheap as possible, and at the same
Yep.
time, players who have a chance of playing. So that's
Okay.
my that's my late spiel. Thanks to FPL teacher. Hope this helps.
Yeah, I agree with your pick just now, Min. Some of
Yep.
the advice, especially on the midfield, Gilmore or Brownhill. I think
Yep.
4.4 is enough. The defense, I think, if let's say you want to go really cheap, especially on the third bench, Williams is not bad, 3.9. Or maybe I think I read that Evans may be out for a while. Then Amati at 3.8, which is the cheapest now. So it's not
Mm,
bad pick, but you don't expect so much from him. On the striker part, I think most likely if you're playing 3-5-2 or 4-4-2, then maybe you pick another striker like myself, which is non-playing, right?
yeah.
Davies or Locadia. So, but I think those are the options that I like, me, especially the Adnori one, 4.3. If you can
Yeah.
pick him.
I'll see.
All right, then. I think we already conclude our show episode 17. Just to remind all FPL managers, our deadline will be at 2:15. Yeah, they already revised, which is tonight. Okay, and hopefully, you all like our video today. Do give us a like and subscribe to our FPL Jedi Show channel on YouTube. All right, man. So I would like to wish you all the best to everyone. I think do we have any final question? I don't.
No, I just try to answer them on the chat itself.
Okay, fair. I
Yeah.
think like Harish mentioned, is Foden a good differential? Yes, go for it, bro. Okay.
Yes.
So any last
I
word,
think
man?
he is. I think he seriously is. He may
Yep,
actually do well.
yep. Your final word, man.
Good luck, guys. Use the force to try to make sure all your players play. It's really hard. So you see, I've donned my Jedi robe for this week because I'm really trying my best to dodge. And so far I've been fortunate and been able
Yep.
to really not having any Manchester United or Brighton players at this stage. I didn't have any Spurs players or Burnley players at the time it was postponed. So if try sometimes it's just bad luck.
Yep.
So in my case, I just got lucky, and some didn't. But we just have to persevere and be patient
Yep.
and accept that this happens, and just try to improve for the next and get better in the future.
All right, guys. Have a good day, and hopefully you finalize your team before the deadline. Good luck and have a good weekend. Bye.
Bye.